Let's make a 6-section color wheel. Before we start, we're gonna need a few tools. We're gonna need a ruler. We're gonna need this guy, which is a compass. This is what makes circles. We're gonna need a protractor. This is gonna have degrees on there to help us figure out how to make an evenly spaced 6-section color wheel. Pencil, and lastly, we're going to need our watercolor paper, which is 140-pound cold press watercolor paper. So before we get started, let's find the center on our paper. And an easy way to do that is to take your ruler and go from corner to corner and make a mark somewhat in the middle. You want to go ahead and do that on the other side also. And once these cross, we know that is where our center of the paper is. This is where we're going to start our circle. So with our compass, we want to make 2 circles. We're going to make a 6-inch circle and a 4-inch circle. And how you do that with the compass is you just divide the number by half. So half of 6 is going to be 3. Use your ruler to measure that out. Once I do that, I find my center point on my paper, and then I go ahead and draw my circle. So that's our 6-inch one. Now we're going to do the 4-inch one, and half of 4 is 2. So same idea, use your ruler to measure out 2 inches. Find that center mark again, and go ahead and make your 4-inch circle. And there you go, we have that ready. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to figure out the degrees that we need in order to make our 6 sections equal. And we know that a circle is a 360 circumference. So we're gonna use this guy and take 360 and divide it by 6. So that's gonna give us 60-degree increments all the way around. So start with your 0 mark, 60, 120, 180. Flip your protractor around and line up your tick marks. So 0 and 180 are lined up. Then you do the same thing. So 60, 120, 180. And now you can see that we have 6 equal tick marks on our circle. And lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to connect them up to make the lines that separate where the colors need to go. So you just do that by going directly across from each other with your tick marks. You want to make sure you're definitely doing it across from each other and not like that. Obviously, it's going to get skewed. But once we have these drawn in here, we're going to have our starting point for our color wheel. Now what I like to do with this is to make sure I label where the colors go so I don't get mixed up. So for our primary colors, we know that that's going to be yellow, red, and blue. And with the 6-section color wheel, it's just 1 space in between. When you mix primaries together, you get secondaries. So yellow and red, we're going to get orange for our secondary. Yellow and blue, we're going to get green for our secondary. Red and blue, we're going to get violet for our secondary. So there is your 6-section color wheel. To make your 12-section color wheel, it's similar to this, but instead of dividing 360 by 6 sections, you're going to divide 360 by 12, which is going to give you the 30-degree mark.